Hello there guys, welcome back to I Can't Witch Without, and this week it is I Can't Witch Without Kyanite. I thought it was a little while since we did a crystal, so we could do a crystal this week and have a little chat about it. The disclaimer at the start of this video, as always, is that none of these items which are featured within the I Can't Witch Without series are intended to sort of, you know, be you absolutely must own any of the particular items. It's just sharing bits and pieces from my regular practice, things I enjoy working with, having a little discussion. We always read from one or two books as a point of reference, so we give a sort of overarching meaning from two books, and that will be the Book of Stones and the Crystal Bible. The Crystal Bible for the crystals. And we have some lovely different coloured kyanite in shot. We have black kyanite, and then one piece of the orange kyanite, and one piece of the green kyanite, and then some tumbled and then some rough blue kyanite. You can probably tell I have a preference. I actually prefer black kyanite, but I keep getting bits and pieces of blue kyanite and attempting to work with it. Okay, so I know that the orange kyanite isn't going to be in either of the books, I don't think. But we'll start with the Crystal Bible, which is fairly scarce on information compared to the Book of Stones anyway. So it has a general meaning of kyanite. Kyanite is excellent for attunement and meditation. It is tranquilizing and a powerful transmitter and amplifier of high frequency energies, stimulating psychic abilities and the intuition. With its ability to tune into the causal level, the stone can help spiritual energy to manifest in thought, connects us to spirit guides and instills compassion. Grounding spiritual vibrations, it brings spiritual integrity and maturation. It facilitates dream recall and promotes healing dreams. Helps to align the chakras, the subtle bodies, clearing the pathways and meridian. It restores chi to the physical body and organs, helping it to stabilize the biomagnetic field after clearing and transformation. Psychologically, encourages one to speak one's truth, cutting through fear and blockages. Opening the throat chakra, the stone encourages self-expression and communication. Presumably this is talking more about the blue kyanite. It cuts through ignorance and opens us to spiritual and psychological truth. Seeing as it cuts through confusion and dispels blockages, it helps to clear illusion, anger, frustration and stress. It increases the capacity for logical and linear thought, stimulates the higher mind and links into the causal level. Yeah, okay, and then it doesn't really go into much depth of detail. Okay, so the Book of Stones is a much more in-depth resource, and this is what the Book of Stones looks like if you haven't seen the Book of Stones. Okay. Keywords for kyanite: inner bridges, psychic ability, connecting with nature, past life recall, telepathy, empathy, element storm, and all chakras, especially the third eye and the heart chakra. And we go through some of the colours. I know that orange isn't in here, but all the others are, I believe. Blue kyanites have a high vibration and create a very rapid transfer of energy. They open psychic channels and activate the mind centers, accentuating one's mental capacities and enhancing one's ability to download information from higher sources. They can make telepathic communication between individuals easier, especially if both parties are using them. If one chooses to sleep with blue kyanite, the process of lucid dreaming can be stimulated. Blue kyanite can link the physical, astral and causal bodies, catalyzing full consciousness in waking, dreaming and dreamless sleep. One must work at this, but it is well worth the goal if achieved. Blue kyanites can be combined with green to bring their energies into resonance with the heart center. Using both stones together, one can channel the high frequency vibrations into self-healing and other pursuits. Green kyanite can also help keep blue kyanite psychic openings centered in the heart, protecting the self from using enhanced psychic abilities as an excuse for an ego trip. Green kyanites can create a bridge between oneself and the dynamic balance of nature. In natural systems, such as ecosystems or living bodies, there is a tendency towards finding a stable equilibrium. Nature compensates and readjusts to changing conditions as its stream of life flows through time. Green kyanite helps one to feel the ever-moving, perfect, flowing balance of the Tao, the life force of the universe. Green kyanite helps one connect with the truth of the heart. It can aid in discerning one's truth in one's environment, whether one is listening to TV news or a friend or family member. If someone is not speaking from their heart, it will know. It's not necessarily a lie detector, but it does detect sincerity. Having this stone around also helps one live from the heart's truth. This is very rewarding because being in the heart's truth means one is not looking outward for answers. Green kyanite can also open the portals to inner domains. First and most easily one can enter the realm of nature spirits and devas. With a bit more experience and willingness to let go, one can reach the causal plane where the archetypes exist and the great patterns of events are shaped before they manifest in our world. Even astral travel is possible using green kyanite, and green kyanite can also powerfully enhance dream life. Getting into the lucid state. For this, it should be placed in the pillowcase or taped to the third eye. I don't know about taping it to your third eye. There you go. Black kyanite can clear blocked energies in any chakra and can replenish the meridian system. It is both grounding and energizing, increasing one's vibrational frequencies without taking one out of the body. It is useful in energetic healing because it clears imbalances and brings forth an unhindered flow throughout one's various systems. Black kyanite can take one back to past lives and forwards to probable futures. It teaches one to experience interdimensional consciousness without losing one's connection to Earth. Black kyanite combines synergistically with numite. Both are powerful dynamic stones that help one plumb the depths of the subconscious world and return to this world with fresh insight. Black kyanite also works well with black tourmaline, ajoite, azulite, azeztulite, and Tibetan tektite. Oh, indigo. I don't have any indigo. I do have sirens going off in the background. Of course they do. That's a fantastic world. Thank you. Kyanite is a stone. Let's just wait till it passes because. Oh, it was an undercover car. There you go. So that was from the Book of Stones from Robert Simmons, and then there is the Nisha Asian. So kyanite is a stone of connection, of building bridges of light between disparate aspects of experience. It can bridge energy blocks in the aura and emotional blocks between people and help restructure mental energies and habits that keep one from moving to higher levels of learning. Kyanite's powerful energy creates pathways of energy before there were none. Assists in negotiations, diplomatic missions, arbitration and other forms of communication between disharmonious people. It acts as an energy bridge, allowing disparate energies to gently move into resonance and find a common frequency. It can help one to find a way to bridge different beliefs and ideas. It can assist one in finding a way to incorporate all aspects of the self into a harmonious whole. Kyanite allows one to forge one's own unique path, bringing together one's various interests, skills and knowledge. This aids in seeing one's unique mosaic of gifts and how they can be used for one's soul path. Initiate psychic ability promotes communication with higher beings and can be used to open the third eye during meditation or healing sessions. Kyanite is one of the most prominent allies to be used for crystal resonance therapy and other forms of crystal-based healing. It can clean a person's energetic field and creates a protective shield that will provide a safe space in which to do psychic or healing work. Kyanite's frequency mandates one to act upon intuitive guidance, helping to build strong bridges between our inner and outer selves. It can help cut through cloudy thoughts, indecision or hesitancy so that movement forward can be made. Its affirmation is, I cross the inner bridges which lead to my growth, opening to the etheric realms, the world of nature and the land of the heart. And then from the Healing Crystals website, I believe it is, yeah. We have orange kyanite. Is the stone of creativity, helpful to artists, writers and performers as well as musicians, helps balance the sacral chakra, increases our senses, self-esteem and communication skills, enabling us to use our intuition in decision making. It increases creative thinking, sexuality and clairsentience. Instills a sense of childlike joy in all of us, enabling us to put our imaginations to work and then get out there and share it with others without fear of judgment. Eases depression and helps to bring one to a positive thought process, positive state. There you go. Right, so I haven't worked a whole lot with the orange and the green yet. I picked the orange one up last week and it's one of the ones I haven't really looked at yet, and I haven't really looked at green. I'm considering actually combining all the different shades of kyanite and just sort of doing some kyanite working and seeing how I get on with that personally. But for me, black kyanite, which I feel is woefully underrepresented in the books, is probably my favourite. So for me, black kyanite, it's like the book sort of states, it has this sort of balancing energy that kind of works really well with pneumite. Pneumite is almost like the how to put it, it's like earth and sky. So black kyanite is more earthed and more grounded energy versus pneumite, which is much more sort of the stars above. But they both sort of work within the same sort of energy. They're quite shamanistic. They're kind of making you super aware of the energies around you and how energy flows into you and how you sort of project your energy and your thoughts and your attitudes, and whether or not you are creating your own personal blockages or blockages that have come about as a result of experiences. Kyanite's very good for black kyanite, that is very good for the cleansing out of all chakras. It's sort of one and done crystal. It's for that. If you could only pick one, it would be really, really wonderful for just cleaning out the blockages throughout your chakras and your energy system. For me though, it's more than that, and I have been gifted a black kyanite and it it takes on a very sort of physical representation of crow or raven energy, and has a Morrigan link for me personally. So one on the surface of it, it looks like a crow wing. I think probably the top one here is probably the best example. And just from that sort of physical representation, it sort of attaches itself to bringing crow energy forth into, or raven energy, depending on what you're doing, into crystal work. And it's really wonderful for bringing that into gridding as well as altar space, and sort of having a really wonderful symbolic representation of crow energy. And because it has a similar energy to Numite, it does tie into this sort of shamanistic shape-shifting energy as far as I'm concerned. And that kind of makes sense to me in the following way as well, because black kyanite is used to sort of shift things, so it's used to cleanse out all chakras, like all energy points. Therefore it's not a huge leap to say it's a crystal which can be used to shift a mindset, shift your energy to sort of a higher resonance, and really sort of shift your thought processes and your spiritual path, really shift you and help you realign not only your energy centers but yourself, your destiny, your path. And kyanite has shown up on a number of occasions, particularly black kyanite, when there was something shifting in my life. It does have quite a grounding effect. I'm not sure if they cover that in here. No. I mean, it says it works well in combination with black tourmaline, but that's like the only hint at it being quite grounding. I find it quite a grounding stone. I find it much more earthy than say Numite, even though it's, you know, it's not an earth stone. It's given as a storm stone, yeah, by the Book of Stones. But it has a more sort of, it's less abstract, I guess, than Numite. It doesn't work in so much of a symbolic kind of way. It's perhaps a little bit less dreamy, a little bit more grounded as far as I'm concerned. It's very real and very much of the earth and very much in the present space with black kyanite. Blue kyanite kind of shifts a little bit because although I haven't worked with blue kyanite as much, it does tend to sort of have more of a sort of psychic vibe to it. It really, as far as I'm concerned, I've been using it just to help when I require a little bit more sort of a boost to my psychic abilities. If I'm feeling blocked, say in my third eye, if I feel that blockage, if I'm not getting the messages that I need to get, if I'm feeling confused and lost, then blue kyanite can really help. And that's probably why I've got tumbled pieces of the blue kyanite, because they are, you know, it's a sort of a quicker, lighter, softer energy than some of the raw stuff. I tend to prefer the raw stuff these days, but there is that. Although I find blue kyanite quite calming, and perhaps I have, you know, because of my visualization and working vocally quite a lot, it does help with the sort of healing of the throat chakra. And I think that's probably why I find it such a calming stone, because it does really help just to cleanse out my throat chakra and really create a sense of balance. And I fully admit that I haven't worked in depth yet with green or orange. I'm very attracted to kyanites, as you can probably tell. I've got a few of them, and I will be working with those two going forward. I think I'm going to set some time. I'm going to speak English. I'm going to set some time aside to work with green and orange this week. So in combination, blue and black for me tend to be very much about the dream state, the sort of otherworldly nature of tapping into energies that are otherworldly. I've had some very strong Morrigan visualizations and meditations with black kyanite, and as I said, part of crow-based gridding. I did the Dark Moon Morrigan grid whenever it was, last week or the week before. My brain is not with us, as you can tell, because I keep saying Right, so it really does bring that sort of shape-shifting energy, that shifting through, that change, and it helps you to perceive the change and what change is required, be it of yourself or in the world around you, and sort of really help you to start bringing that down and sort of making it into a manifest, if that makes sense, because it has a slightly more grounded energy than, say, its counterpart, given counterpart anyway, Numite. I dream quite strongly anyway, so I have absolutely no need for any crystals that make me dream anymore. I remember 3 or 4 or 5 dreams a night, and if I'm being active about it, I remember them in quite some detail, so I don't actually require it for dream recall work. But if that's something that you struggle with, then kyanite might be an option. Probably go with a blue kyanite for that one personally. It can also work really well as part of a setup to help you when you're sort of honouring the other realms, be it sort of gods and goddesses, or if it's sort of energies within nature, energies of trees, energies of plants around you, or just creating like a circle or a grid to honour the other worlds, to connect with other energies other than the human realm. So I think that's just about all I wanted to cover for kyanite. I feel a bit bad having no real experience with green or orange. I will report back at a later date when I've experienced them myself. But that's it for this video. Many blessings.